And good afternoon, this is KC9VKV. Just a heads up here. You notice the date 1/8/21. Well, in our recording, we had an erroneous date of 1/8/20. Hangover from last year, I guess. We didn't change our board correctly. So this is actually 1/8/21, this recording. Thank you so much, KC9VKV. Clip. And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday Afternoon QSO-VLOG Network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we will stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our QSO-VLOG network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent in audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding broadcast station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems, so it would be just a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the QSO-VLOG network with the phrase, if you've got a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 1,450 QSO-VLOG Aircheck recordings. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher degree of technical radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receiver side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers monitoring Rochester, New York, Milford, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, and Arlington, Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated, and they are selected by a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of this selector is a co-phase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than magloop 1 or 2 by themselves. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specifically oriented dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas, and although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO-VLOG video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG Network, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all of our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations, QSA-5, to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you will protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States as we go through a very conflicting time in America's history with dark clouds all around. We pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. And to continue, this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG Network, and now let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, I have a beautiful copy on you direct, right from your location in southern. It's bitter cold. It's 13 degrees above zero as it was at noon, and right now it's spitting a few flakes of snow, and we've had over a half an inch. So we've had 70 inches for the season with 10 inches on the ground. Do you copy okay, Jim? Go ahead.
Yes, sir, Charlie. Got you about 15 over on Rochester now.
Okay, all right. By the way, I was talking to Captain Mike. I'm trying to think what day it was. I think it was yesterday morning, coming back from Sacramento. He was at 37,000 feet, and I've got him on a number of places, but I think I have him here in northern Indiana, near Gary in northern Indiana, and here's Captain Mike, I hope.
59 plus here, Charlie. K1GZL from KX4, Whiskey Charlie. We're doing gauge on the temp here. We're minus 62 up here. We're just southwest of Chicago here. We're just right on the outskirts of southern Chicago at flight level 370. But we're showing about 630 miles to go and doing about 460 knots. So, yeah, you're 59 plus from, by the way. K1GZL, KX4, Whiskey Charlie. Real good there. I guess you got that tape. It turned out it was not the equipment, it was just the cassette itself that was the problem over. I don't know if anybody knows where that is. Beecher, just on the south side here of Chicago. But, so I'm heading out again tomorrow, Charlie, so if you're going to be around at, 23:30?
Okay, and there he was. Coming up on northern Indiana at that point, and 5 minutes after I made that recording, he skipped over. He got too close. He skipped over. Let me turn it back to you, and I have an amazing story about a crazy squirrel here that's been driving me nuts since October. KC9VKV, K1GZL in the frigid north.
Roger, Charlie. Well, we had fine reception of your rebroadcast of your communications with your aircraft pilot buddy there. It sounded really good. Now, tell me about this wayward squirrel.
Oh, boy. I'll tell you, it was about 2 days ago. I came out after getting up in the morning. I came out into the living room, and there was the squirrel standing on its hind legs looking at me, and as I approached, it took off and like a shot and disappeared. However, I didn't realize it, but right behind me where I was facing the first squirrel, there was a second one. So I guess we have Squirrely and Whirly. Now I've got them named Squirrely and Whirly, and that thing ran right back into my radio shack here, which is my bedroom. Not only did he do that, he jumped up from the floor, up about 8 feet, bing bang, just like a shot. Grabbed onto the edge of the curtains, which goes over the top of the windows. Then he went across from left to right, and then I'm facing south. Jumped on my amplifier here. Then he jumped. Fortunately, I had paper over it. He messed that up a little. Then he jumped from that on a high angle right down on my bed near my pillow, and I'm standing near the foot of the bed. Then, like a shot out of a cannon, he flies out of the bed and just misses my right eye, just at the same level, right by my and lands on a door right behind me, which had a rope hanging on it, and he grabbed onto the rope, which was latched over the top of the door. Then he jumped down onto the bathroom floor in front of the commode and disappeared. And behind that was something else. Then a friend of mine came up yesterday and set a trap. And what did he do? Oh, yes, on the dining room table, he very carefully tripped the trap and then took off and escaped. However, another trap was put out there, and we got one of the two today, and his corpus delicti is out in the snow. KC9VKV, we live in interesting times. K1GZL.
Roger. Now, Charlie, I thought you was going to say that one squirrel jumped up on your radio table there and started pounding out CW on the key, Roger.
CW on the key, Roger.
Yes, I was expecting that could have happened, but his training in Squirrel CW has not been of Squirrel School.
Roger that. Well, and that one did demise, Roger. You have him thrown out in the backyard?
He frozen to death out in the backyard. Yeah, he somewhere about 8:30 or 9 o'clock this morning. It must have been when I went back to bed for a short time. He got caught in the trap, and they've avoided all these traps, but this one got it. Caught him right across the neck. So he was so connected to the trap, I couldn't separate him. So I picked up the whole mess, threw it out the window, and that one is gone. But I'm afraid if the second one, squirrel, or if the second one it gets after me in revenge, I could be in serious trouble.
Roger that. Well, let's pray that the squirrely situation has resolved itself and you won't have further problems. Is that the first time you've had squirrel incursions?
A little bit a couple of years ago, but then they, for some reason, I didn't see it repeated. They must have gotten out. I've been trying to find the entrance point of the squirrels, and so far I have not been successful. It's pretty well blocked up, but they're smart. The IQ must be a genius on those things, because for one thing, that squirrel nearly put out my right eye. That jumped up from the upper end of the bed, right across the whole bed, right by my right eye by 4 inches or less. And grabbed onto the robe on the top of the door behind me. But it was so close. I was a gibbering idiot after that episode, to say the least. But at least one of the two is gone, and I hope it was the worst.
Roger. Well, good going there. And you say you got 13 degrees now, huh?
You got 13 degrees now, huh?
13 degrees. Winds seem to be. The winds have let up. They were blowing hard this morning. The lowest above 0 Fahrenheit. And by the way, Captain Mike said it was 64 below Celsius. So that's about 75 to 80 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit at 37,000 feet. Go ahead.
Oh, roger that. Well, Charlie, good to be talking to you. I did have some difficulties there about a week ago, and sorry I didn't make the air. I wound up, elsewhere, detained for a few days, and I think that's all behind us now, and so we should be good to go. Roger.
We should be good to go. Roger.
Yes, Roger on that, and yes, I'm glad that is behind you. We all seem to have something, but then again, that's the test of life we have to go through. Well, Jim, I'll try to catch you next week. I'm not putting out much power because I've been blind. We've been getting into fog at night. That's freezing on everything, and you ought to see it up here. All the trees have snow on them. It's a winter wonderland. And yet we've been missing one storm after another. All those storms that are hitting west and southwest of us are going out to sea. However, when that weather pattern changes, oh boy, that's going to be something. Your signal is terrific, and here you are.
But here, I wound up, elsewhere, detained for a few days, and I think that's all. So we should be good to go. Roger.
Okay, I hope that came through. 73, Jim, and thank you so much for picking me up. KC9VKV, K1GZL in the frozen north. Chill factor with the wind, I would say, right now is about 1 below 0.
Roger, Charlie. Well, 73 up that way, sir. Thanks for joining us, and we'll look forward to making contact with you next Friday. In between then, we say, have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. 73. This is KC9VKV in the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. My name is Jim, and I'm better known in some circles as Dr. VKV, and we are recording now live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search plus today's date, 1-820. And that will take you directly to this recording. Otherwise, if you just do a call letter search, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, we have about 1,450 some odd QSO-VLOGs. So we're right now on the air till 5, recording all the time. So if you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
8 Oscar Delta.
Station Oscar Delta, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please.
QSL, Jim, the call is Kilo Foxtrot 8, Oscar Delta.
Roger, Oscar Delta. And what's the name?
The handle is Mike, Roger.
Roger, Mike. And what's your location, sir?
The QTH is Cleveland, Ohio.
Roger, Mike. And what radio are you running, sir?
As the ICOM 756 Pro 3.
Roger, Pro 3. Okay. And would you be interested in our setup procedure?
Oh, sure.
Alrighty. It starts with your mic gain control. You want to put that your compressor. You want to put that compressor on a 3. Put your compressor on a 3. Engage and add a 3. Roger.
QSL.
Alrighty, then we move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and adjust your ALC as you speak a little bit more rapidly than normal so you can keep that meter up and see where it's going. And we want to make that meter at mid-scale to 2/3 by way of adjusting your mic gain control.
Okay, so we are about, I would say right there, about 2/3.
Alrighty, and tell me about 10 seconds on your antenna system, sir.
Okay, the antenna is just a dipole at approximately 50 foot at the apex, and the amplifier is a solid-state amp homebrew at about a kilowatt. Go ahead.
Alrighty, and do you know where your equalization controls are?
I can't say that I do.
All right, let me give you a note. When you find your EQ controls, go +2 more boost on the top end, +2 additional from wherever you are boost on the treble control. And you don't need to find that now. Just make a note to yourself, Roger.
Roger, Jim.
And gosh, I think that'll do. Your dynamic range now is a lot fatter. What we're looking for is a 3 dB dynamic range, which gives you an average percent of peak modulation between 80 and 85%. Roger.
Roger, Jim. Thank you for your help.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And you can access this recording by doing a YouTube search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date 1820. So it's the call sign plus the date 1820, and that will take you directly to this recording. Roger.
QSL, thank you very much. 73 KF8OD.
Roger, Mike. And what's your location, please?
North Railton, Ohio.
Roger, Roger, sir. All right, 373, sir, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 4 Oscar Yankee, W401.
There's a Whiskey 4 station. Come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Yeah, Roger, Roger, KC9VKV. This is Whiskey 4 Oscar Yankee. That's W4OY there, Jim.
Yes, sir. What's the name there?
The name here is Jeff. That's Juliet Echo Foxtrot, Foxtrot, and we're located here in the state of Virginia.
Roger, and what radio are you running, sir?
I run the 7300 there, Jim, but I got one of those cheap boom mics, and I just wanted you to check it out. I know the settings for the hand mic, and I just wanted to give me some settings on the boom mic. QSL?
Yes, sir. Okay, your compressor is engaged at a 3.
QSL?
Okay, and your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Yeah, right there is about 2/3, close to 3/4 there, Jim.
All right, so you just remember, when you switch mics back and forth, you always need to go back and consult your ALC, because not all mics, no mics are equal. They're all different. And so when you change mics, you need to go back and verify your level is mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Yeah, Roger there. And how about the treble and bass? We good there?
I would put a couple more clicks top end EQ on that particular microphone, if you know where your EQ is.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. So that'll be +2 on treble?
Yes, sir.
Roger, Roger. Okay, how are we there, Jim? I added +2 on treble.
All right, give me a 10 or 15 on your antenna situation.
Yeah, Roger, Roger, KC9VKV from W4OY there. We got a homebrew 80-meter loop up there, about 40 feet, and running about 350 watts there. QSO?
Roger, Roger. Now, the only thing that is a small point, but I can hear just a bit of room noise in your audio. Would you be working like 4 inches at least away from that mic?
Yeah, Roger, Roger. I'm probably about 6 inches away there, Jim.
Roger, Roger. I would suggest working that mic just a little bit closer to avoid having too much room noise in there. You know, what we're talking about is, unfortunately, not all of our Radio Shacks are soundproof studios. So we have to deal with what we have as far as room acoustics and walls and audio bounce off those, echoes off those. So the closer we work that mic, we minimize those problems. So I would suggest that you move up a little bit closer to that mic, maybe 3 to 4 inches, somewhere in that area. Yeah,
Roger, Roger. I'm a little closer there now, Jim. Does that help ground out the noise in the shack?
Yes, sir. Now, I would go back. I would keep working at that distance, but I would go back to my ALC now and recalibrate from mid-scale to 2/3, because obviously when you were closer, your level's going to be a little hotter. So back to the ALC and adjust mic gain for mid-scale to 2/3.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. We'll turn it back there a little bit. Roger, Roger. We'll turn it back there a little bit, Jim. Right there is about, we're about operating right around in there is about 2/3.
Yes, sir, I can see that. You are 3 dB dynamic range, and that's exactly where you need to be, Roger.
And that's exactly where you need to be, Roger.
Yeah, Roger on that. Yeah, we're 2/3 there, Jim, and the mic gain's down to 30. The setting previously where I was away from it was on 60, so that was half the ALC there, and appreciate you. I knew you'd get this thing squared away. It frees my hands up here so I can do a little logging in the software there. So you have a wonderful day up there, and stay dry and stay warm. This is W4OY73.
Yes, sir, Jeff. Sounds good, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by today's date, 1/8/20. That will take you directly to this recording, and you can hear your setup there. So 73s for now, and you have a great afternoon. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Gosh, I was doing musical chairs on my SDRs, and I could not pull anyone directly out, but try it again. I'm monitoring right now Milford, PA, so give me a shout.
Now Milford, PA, so give me a shout. Whiskey 3, Foxtrot, Romeo, Golf.
Whiskey 3, Foxtrot, Romeo, Golf, I believe it was. Come back again with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Come back again with your call sign slowly, phonetically. Yes, Jim, KC9VKV, from Whiskey 3, Foxtrot, Romeo, Golf. Southeast corner of Pennsylvania and Media. Over.
Yes, sir, and what's the name there?
Yes, sir, and what's the name there? I'm sorry, Tom, Texas, Ontario, Mexico, Tom. We're running a Flex 6600 to an RF homebrew. Over.
Okay, Tom, I just moved over from my Milford PA SDR to my local, and you were about 20 over on my local, so come back and give me about 10 on your antenna system.
My antenna system is a super loop. It's an all-band, multi-band, always vertical, a polarized antenna, and it's up about 70 feet, and it's fed with coax and a balun. Over.
Oh, Roger, Roger. Okay, now what we want to do is go ahead with our setup procedure. If you would be interested, it starts again with our compressor engaged at a 3. Roger.
I'm using a Flex 6600, and the compression, we do not have a compression. It's strictly do not use per the manual.
Okay. Then adjust your ALC from mid-scale to 2/3. I don't understand why that is, sir. Why would you not use a fattening process?
We are using compression. We are using the EQ, but there is no compression control on the radio. It's strictly per the manual. It's there, but it's not set up to do anything.
Strange. Okay. Anyway, past that, that's you will not be able probably to achieve a 3 dB dynamic range without that particular item, but we'll do the best we can. I would suggest moving now to your ALC with mic gain in hand and adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 operation.
Well, you're not going to believe this either. We don't use ALC.
How do you set up your modulation?
We use the modulation gain as a meter. It's 0, 10, -20, -30, -40, and they want to keep the audio peaking at around -10 and not exceeding that.
Roger, well, sir, you've you've hit the jackpot. You are set up. How about EQ? Do you have EQ on board?
Yes, I do. I have it's an 8-band EQ, and the settings are minus 63 kilohertz, 125 kilohertz, 250, 500. 1, 2, 4, and 8 kilohertz.
Roger. Well, close enough. I think you've got it there, sir.
Okay, well, the settings I have were -3, -3, +2, +3, and the rest are all +10. And we're using a Audio Technica AT1300 microphone.
Roger, sounds good. I would, 8-band EQ takes a little while to set up, and just my personal preference on EQs, I always leave the mid-range EQs flat, so it makes it easier to strike balance between the top to the mid-range and the bottom to the mid-range. So I would say, from 500 cycles to 1.5K, I would usually put those flat, so the top and bottom can achieve balance easier.
I appreciate that. Very good. I'm sorry about the ALC and the compression, but the radio just doesn't have it.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm looking at your signal, and you're right now running about 3 dB dynamic range. I'm not sure exactly how you're getting there, but you are, and that is 80 to 85%. So it's a fairly fat signal, Roger.
We're running about 3.4.
Roger. Well, I'm not talking about necessarily the excursions. I'm talking about the dynamic range ballistically of the audio itself. In other words, an unprocessed transmission will usually be about 10 dB in velocity from the weakest to the strongest, and what we want to do for broadcast is move that 10 dB to about 3 dB in that, so it's fattening. Not necessarily talking about the excursions as far as bandpass, but in the audio realm. Roger.
Roger, Dodger, Carl. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your help, and Happy New Year, and we'll continue on here. 73 W3FRG.
Roger, Tom, 73 that way, sir. Thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. In the meantime, in between time, if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do the call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 1/8/20. That will take you directly to this recording. So 73 for now, and we'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. There's a Whiskey 4 somewhere. Whiskey 4 station, come back slowly, phonetically with your call sign.
Yeah, Roger. This is Whiskey 4, November, Oscar, Marty in Panama City, Florida.
Roger, Marty in Panama City, Florida. And gosh, Marty, come back with about 10 seconds describing your antenna system.
The antenna is a homemade fan dipole for 20 and 40 meters with an apex at about 34 feet, inverted V.
Roger, Marty. Now, let me just say that your audio is very mid-rangey. It's kind of like a two-way radio kind of sound. What microphone are you using, sir?
The microphone is a D104 Silver Eagle.
Say no mo. I'm assuming that's a powered D104?
That is a powered D104, and it's driving a Drake TR4CW with red.
I'm sorry, repeat the last?
Drake TR4CW.
Ah, an oldie but a goodie. I have one of those, I think, myself. TR4C, nice radio. I haven't run it, unfortunately, in a couple of years, but it was... when I first got into amateur radio, even before I was studying for my test, I was looking around for radio, and I saw on the internet this guy that had a TR4C, and gosh, I just looked at that, and immediately the first time I saw it, I just developed a great love for that radio, and I knew exactly what each one of those knobs did. And I tried to communicate with him several times, and I never got a reply, so I guess he had sold the radio and didn't want to be bothered by any further communications. But so I went to go take my test, took my test, and as I was leaving, I was thinking about, gosh, these guys might know where I could find a good radio. And so I turned at the door and I said, excuse me, but any one of you guys might have an idea where I could get a radio. And this one examiner said, well, I tell you what, I'll make you a deal you can't refuse. I've got one I'll give to you. And it was the Drake, and gosh, he came over to the house for about 3 days running there, and we kind of brought that radio up very slowly. We didn't have a variac to adjust the voltage, but we did have light bulbs, and we put the first day we put a 60-watt light bulb in series with the AC. Second day we paralleled that 60 with another 60. Third day we paralleled till we had three 60-watt lamps in series with the AC, and then after a couple of hours we just went ahead and put the AC to it, and that radio had been in mothballs for about 10 years, Roger.
Roger that. Yeah, this was the Drake TR-43W was my initial novice radio 40 years ago, and I recently came across one in almost excellent shape, and I had to have it. Currently, I drive it with is the D104. I have some parts coming for, I have a Shire 444 that I want to try out. But right now, this is all I have, and the radio doesn't seem to be working well, but I was just wondering what I could do with what I have currently to maybe make it sound a little better.
Well, gosh, your Drake doesn't have EQ, so you have no onboard EQ to help adjust that really heavy mid-range signal, and that's typical of a D104. Obviously, though, by you running a powered D104, it is somewhat mellowed out, but there are some that have tried to run that D104 without a power amp. And the thing is, the D104 element is intrinsically a high impedance element, and running it directly into a 600 ohm input makes it really sound like sheet tin. So you are better than some because you do have a powered D104. The only thing I could suggest is possibly we use or try to use proximity effect in reverse there, or proximity effect, and that would be that as you move closer to the microphone, you will have a bass buildup, and so that would shift that microphone from a very tinny, mid-rangey sound to a more fuller sound. But at the same time, we put the top end further away from balance because we do have that bass buildup. But just out of curiosity, how far are you working that microphone away at the moment?
That microphone away at the moment?
Probably about 4 inches, something like that.
Roger. Try coming about an inch away from that microphone and let me hear you and see where it goes.
Microphone and let me hear you and see where it goes.
Okay, now I'm about an inch away from the microphone. Pretty close to it. About an inch away, Roger.
Roger, I wouldn't see much difference here. It's about the same. So I would continue running it the way it is. If obviously, it's probably going to take another microphone, sir, to be able to, to assist that radio. Unfortunately, like I said, that radio doesn't have EQ, so you can't compensate for that D104 sound, Roger.
That D104 sound, Roger.
Roger, I understand. I appreciate that, and at least you are hearing me, so I wonder what kind of a signal report you have on me.
Well, I was running on my local antenna. You were about an 8, and I moved over to Rochester SDR, and you're about a 12 there, Roger. About a 10 to 12 over.
There, Roger. About a 10 to 12 over.
Roger. Okay. Well, like I say, this whole Drake is in excellent. Looks almost brand new. I'm very pleased with my purchase. Hopefully I'll have a lot of fun with it, walking down memory lane. Back to you, Jim. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I just moved over to my Georgia SDR, and you're somewhat better there. You might be just a little hot on your mic gain. I was seeing about a dB dynamic range, and that's a little too much. So I would say pull your mic gain down just about 10%.
Just about 10%.
Would that be the preamp in the mic?
Yeah, you could do that, or you could do it on the radio. Go ahead and where's the mic gain on your mic?
Where's the mic gain on your mic?
Somewhere about halfway between off and on.
All right, so pull it. Have you pulled it back yet?
Have you pulled it back yet?
I gave it about 10 degrees.
Yes, sir. That's looking better. Your dynamic range now is right at 3 dB, which is where you want it to be. So make a mark on that microphone or mental mark in your brain as to where it is, and that's where you want to be. And at the proximity distance from that mic, you want to run it just like that, Roger.
From that mic, you want to run it just like that, Roger.
Roger. I will do that. Thank you again for the help. And 73 is W4NNO.
Roger, Marty. And now, let's see, you're done in Florida?
You're done in Florida?
Yes, sir, on the coast, Panama City, Florida.
Roger. All righty. Sounding good. Or as best you can with that D104. 73, Marty, and we'll catch you later. Thanks for dropping by. If you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 1/8/20. It'll take you to this recording directly. And that will be in a couple of days. It'll take us to get that uploaded, Roger.
It'll take us to get that uploaded, Roger.
W4NNO clear.
Roger. All right, 73. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
BPY.
Was there a BPY?
Kilo Bravo 2, Delta Papa Yankee. Kilowatt Bravo 2, Delta Papa Yankee.
I'm sorry. One more time, please, sir.
Kilo Bravo 2, Delta Papa Yankee.
Thank you, sir. You're kind of fading in just a little bit there. What's the name there?
The name here is Tony, Tango Oscar November Yankee, in Flowery Branch, Georgia. QSO?
Gosh, I'll go back to my Georgia SDR. Give me about, let's see, what radio are you running, Tony?
Okay, Jim, I'm running an FTDX 9000D, and I'm using a HiOPR 781 microphone.
Alrighty. Give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system, sir.
Just running a MaxCon antenna. It's up about 30 feet at the apex and down to about 8 feet on each side. It's kind of temporary, but that's what we're running here for 40 meters. Over.
Roger. Okay. I think you might be able to get a little bit fatter signal if you want to do that. Begin with your mic compressor at a 3. Roger.
Roger, I can try that, but it seems like when I turn the compressor on this rig, the signal gets, or the audio really goes away. So let me try it here. I'll turn it on.
Alrighty. Well, you weren't kidding. I'm not hearing you at all.
Okay, I'll turn it up some. I'm bringing it up to compression. And I've been told the signal gets distorted when I do that.
Okay, what we're looking for is just about 30% of that compressor's capabilities. So you have an input control. Is that what you're adjusting?
Yes, sir. And right now it's on 30%. 30%.
Okay, just out of curiosity, your signal really drops, so I'm not sure why. Bypass your compressor, go back to direct without the compressor. Let me hear you.
Okay, stand by. All right, there is the radio without the compressor. Over.
Okay, now that you have established that level at 30%, and I'm assuming that the level input to that compressor is like 10 to 100, is that a Roger?
Yes, and I can turn that back on. That is back on, and it's at 30% right now.
Okay, I could hear the difference there. Now what you want to do is, with mic gain in hand, I want you to go to your ALC and adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3, where you're kind of speaking a little bit faster than normal, so you can keep that meter up and see how to adjust it. Roger?
Okay, well, let me see. I can turn the mic gain down, turn it down.
Frequency is in use, please.
Right there, over.
Frequency is in use. Not good to tune up on an active frequency. Frequency is in use. Alrighty, Tony, I was copying your signal there. So give me about 15 on the thing you like best about your radio.
Well, the thing I like best is it's mine, and it's paid for. And I guess it's kind of like the Dream radio. I got a really good deal on it. It was a
very discourteous
silent key, and very happy with it so far. I've been an ICOM man for a long time, but this Yaesu seems to be doing a very good job. Over.
Yes, sir. Tony, you have a very discourteous operator that persists on wanting to tune up on an active frequency. I suggest it's probably malicious interference. We have those, unfortunately, from time to time. So now, just to review, you have your compressor engaged at a 3, and you have your mic gain set up so your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3. Is that a Roger?
That is a Roger. Roger. Mid-scale to 2/3 as I'm talking, and the mic, or the compression is at 30%.
Yes, sir. Okay, now let's move to your equalization controls.
Okay.
And what we want to do is tell me where they are sitting at the moment.
Well, there are several settings. I've got let's see. There is probably 10 different settings. This is the parametric EQ. One is at 100, and the level is -8, and then the frequency 2 is 3. Let's see, I'm trying to see this as I'm talking here, but there's several settings on the parametric EQ.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's look at that EQ, and what we want to do is take all our mid-range controls to flat. From 1.5K to 5K, we want to set all those flat, if you know where flat is, Roger.
Okay, well right now, let's see, I've got EQ frequency of 100 for 1, EQ frequency 2 is 800, and EQ frequency 3 is 2500. And then I can adjust the levels from there. I can also adjust the frequency, the 3 frequencies.
So what you're saying, you have a 3-band EQ, is that a Roger?
That's a Roger.
Okay, I was thinking you had a 10 or, the way you were describing it, a 10 or 15-band EQ. I said, oh my God, that's what I need. All right, so what you have is a 3-band EQ. So I want you to take that mid-band, the mid-tone, and I want you to put it to flat. Put that to flat. Roger?
Okay, it's at 800, and I can turn the levels down. Let's see. That is the level, and then there's a band level, and then there's a bandwidth, which I can also turn to 0. So now the 800, well, I can turn it to 1, is level 0, bandwidth 1.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just fighting my my SDRs here. So you have a 3-band EQ. So I want you to, again, reiterate that we want to take that mid-band EQ to flat. Do you see where there's a flat position where, it's neither cut nor boost?
I can turn it off completely. Now it's completely off. Completely off.
You have a switch for that?
You have a switch for that?
Well, I have a dial. I go to the or the middle band is off.
All right. Okay. So then let's go to your bottom. And what's your bass frequency? How much? What's the level setting on the bass frequency?
It looks like 100 if I'm reading it correctly. I'm guessing the first one in the row is my bass frequency is at 100.
Okay, but is it cut or boost, or what is the level of it? What is the setting of it? Is it we want to find that out first.
I got you. It's a -8.
Okay, and your mid-range control. I want you to engage your mid-range control, but do you have a flat position for that neither cut nor boost? With the switch on, do you have a position on the rotary control neither cut nor boost?
Well, the level right now is at 0, so I can change the level to a plus or minus. So right now, the frequency is 800, but the cut and boost is flat at 0.
Roger. Okay. Let's go to the top end. What is your bandpass setting on that?
2500.
Okay. And what's the width of the band?
Again, please.
How wide is it? Do you have control over the width of your? I think you said you had a parametric EQ. Is that a Roger?
Yes, sir. The bandwidth is set at 3, number 3.
Okay, and what's your boost control? Are you flat, boost, or cut?
It is boosting at 8%, or at 8, number 8.
Okay, and how far further can you go with that boost?
I can go to 10.
Okay, go ahead and put it on a 10. Your top end EQ at a 10, and let me hear you there. I want you to give me 10 seconds or so on your antenna system.
Alrighty, the antenna is a MaxCon off-center fed dipole up about 30 feet at the apex and about 7 feet off the ground on either end. That is at number 10. The frequency is 2500. The frequency is 2500. The bandwidth is 3.
Sounded pretty good there. I don't have as best copy on you as I would like, but from what I can tell, I think we're just about there. Your signal is a lot more balanced audio-wise, Roger.
A lot more balanced audio-wise, Roger.
Okay, Roger. Well, I greatly appreciate the help. I'm not sure what else, if anything, we can do. But right now, again, the ALC is off-center fed at the pet and feet off the ground on your end. That is N to a 500. The bandwidth is 3.
Roger that. I'm still playing with my SDRs. I finally have got the last one in where it should be anyway. So just give me a little bit about something that I don't. Tell me something I don't know.
Your signal is a lot more balanced audio-wise, Roger.
Okay, Roger. Well, I greatly appreciate the help. I'm not sure what else, if anything, we can do. I'm talking about 4 or 5 inches away from the microphone. It's a big one again.
Roger, Tony. I think we got her, sir.
Roger, Tony. I think we got her, sir.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm gonna lock it down there for now, and I'll let you move on to the next one. I greatly appreciate it. Signal's fading a little bit in and out, but definitely into Delta Papa Yankee, over.
Roger, yeah, I'm fading out here too, Tony. You're fading out here. So let me say 73 for now, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. If you get a chance to join us next Friday, in between then and now, if you want to check out your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by today's date, that will take you directly to this recording. So 73 for now, and we'll catch you later there, sir.
For now, and we'll catch you later there, sir.
73 for now.
This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Delta.
Sierra Echo X-ray.
Delta 2, Sierra X-ray Delta.
Sierra X-ray Delta, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please.
X-ray Delta, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign, please.
Roger, roger, Jim. Call sign is Kilo Delta 2, Sierra X-ray Delta. Name here is Mike India Kilo Echo, and I'm located in Jacksonville, Florida.
Roger, roger, Mike. And what radio are you running today, sir?
Roger, roger, Mike. And what radio are you running today, sir?
I'm running a ICOM 7300, sir.
Alrighty, Mike, why don't you give me about 10 seconds on your antenna situation so I can hear your audio.
Why don't you give me about 10 seconds on your antenna situation so I can hear your audio.
Okay, will do. Well, I'm running a ICOM 7300.
Long wire up in the tree. I'm in the
10 long wire up in the tree. I'm in the HOA, so I don't have to explain how that goes.
On GTO.
And just wanted to get an audio report on this boom mic I hooked up and see if I got some of these settings correct here. Over.
Roger, Mike. Well, gosh, why don't we review our settings, see if we can get that signal a little fatter. Starts with your compressor engaged at a 3. Roger.
Fatter. Starts with your compressor engaged at a 3. Roger.
Roger. Compressors engaged at a 3.
All right, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand and adjust your mic gain to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3 as you speak fairly quickly so you can see, bring the meter up and see where it is as you adjust it.
Very quickly so you can see, bring the meter up and see where it is as you adjust it.
Oh, roger, roger. Okay, this is KD2FXC testing on the mic gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got it about 80% there, Roger. It's 1/2 to 2/3.
Yes, sir. That's exactly where you want to be. Now, do you know where you're? What mic are you running, sir?
Where you want to be. Now, do you know where you're? What mic are you running, sir?
I'm running a Shure Samsung microphone, temporary other one. As connected with the XLR, with the XLR breakout cable to the 7300 there. Over.
Yes, sir, Mike. Well, gosh, now that I listen to you, I think your EQ setting is very good. So we won't need to make any adjustments in that area, Roger.
Make any adjustments in that area, Roger.
Roger, roger. Okay, well, I appreciate you very much, and appreciate everything you do for the community, and thank you for your time. I'll let some other people get to you there and see if they can need some help there. KD2SXD.
Roger, roger, Mike 73 there, sir. And again, if you want to hear your audio on our recording, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date, 1/8/20, that will take you directly to this recording, and they'll give us a couple of days to get it uploaded. 73. And this is KC9VKV. I think I heard my Elmer in there, N9GTO. Elmer, are you there?
GTO, Elmer, are you there?
Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor in 9GTO. You got a copy?
Kilo Victor in 9GTO. You got a copy?
Got double.
N9GTO, are you there?
N9GTO, are you there? Yeah. Frequency, over.
I'm not copying you locally at all. I'm just copying you on the Rochester antenna, Roger.
GTO, on the Rochester antenna, Roger. Who are you?
I'm on 7188. What frequency are you on, Jim?
That's where I am now. I'm copying you, sir. I was on Rochester. I was copying you on Rochester, Roger. I'm copying you local now.
Oh, you should be copying me local. I should be doing a quite job of a job over there, over.
Roger, well, see what happens. Now, let me explain it to you here. Sometimes these SDRs get on great latency trips. Sometimes these latencies get out to like 8 seconds or so, and so I think I was on Rochester had expanded itself out to about an 8-second latency, and that's why when I did go to my local channel, you had already finished your response, Roger.
Ah, now we see the Great Wizard of Oz. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to KC9VKV of Southern Indiana. The Great Wizard of Oz has admitted to his mental seconds of delay, and I'm not copying in 9GTO. And I take all credibility and financial responsibility for creating this. I'm his Elmer. It's an impressive thing to say that I got him off of 2 meters and 440 and got him in a better position. Man, doing good. Jim, I'm very proud of you. You helped a lot of people out with your amateur skills and your radio skills and your audio skills as well. With your homebrew station that you're on, a very modest station at that, I must say. And people would probably have a hernia or a real bad headache if they knew that you were running on a very, very, very unique, you're not one of those guys that are flamboyant. You know, you don't have to be like Elvis Presley with a brand new Cadillac, I should say. I think the OU Go, you could get 300,000 miles out of it and make the damn thing sound good on the muffler system. But that's just my thought, and I need to stop talking into the mic and talk away from it. But I see that my choke is working. I had to create a choke. I was having something going wrong with the new the Flex 60 400M, and it was the choke all along. So the choke has saved the day. So I'm so happy about that choke. RF is not coming in the house. And that was 21 turns of LMR 400 on a plastic pickle jar. Big 2-gallon plastic pickle jar. There you go. Jim, I hope you're doing fine. And because you sound mighty divine on that radio. And I just want to say hello to you. And hello to all your listeners out there and the SWR listeners as well. On the great 7188. On the great as well. And vlog. Check it out every week for a new and up-and-coming vlog or something really good for Jimmy. And by the way, I will need your help next week on transferring a lot of cassette files over to a computer thing so I can run some stuff. I've got some things in my mind, and maybe next week you can call me and we can go in full production. You just need to tell me how to set it all up, and I can go in full production and edit everything I want to edit out of it and put together a package that we can put up on YouTube as well for all the great listeners. N9GTO, back to you, the net controller, KC9VKV, and the vlog. Back to you, sir.
Roger Lou, got something going on there in your box. Was sometimes in there and sometimes not. Most of the time it wasn't. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but sometimes it would come on and sometimes it wouldn't. And most of that last transmission, it wasn't on.
Oh, it's because old Lou's not holding the button down all the way. Is that better?
No, it's not audio. It's your box, your power. You were, on the shy side there for most of that last transmission.
Okay, here it is, radio only, and here it is with the amplifier over.
Yes, sir. I could hear the amp come on that time, but before, when you were speaking that last transmission, most of the time it wasn't in there.
Well, Jimmy, I've been so busy trying to help other people that I have forgotten about the house itself, meaning the house of Lou. And it's kind of like a roofer. He never puts a roof on it like a roofer. He never count like a roofer. You call me and well, you're sounding mighty fine over there. I've got to go out and get a windsock for this microphone. If you would grade my audio from a 0 to a 10, 0 being the worst and 10 being the greatest, what would you give the audio of this system right now?
Pretty good, but you do need your wind screen there, Roger.
All right, let me look around here. I may actually have one. It's called a sock. You always told me, you know, you always get one of those, what do you call it? Let me grab one. Hold on.
Yeah, the only problem is that a real sock does tend to discriminate in the upper frequencies. Probably not enough on ham radio to be discerned, but a regular sock does exhibit certain frequency discriminations as opposed to a foam windscreen, which offers no reduction at the top end frequencies. Go ahead, Elmer.
All right, here we go. Treat me right, yeah. I don't want to be a soldier. I don't want to be in a fight. All I want to do is talk on my radio tonight. This is a black wool sock on a very expensive microphone. So what do you think about that there?
Okay, your dynamic range is not what it could be. Is your compressor on a 3?
Well, no, I'm on a different, I'm totally on a different deal here. I'm on a, tell you what you want to do. If you want to do it with me, we can dance. Let me, hold on. Let me grab the mouse, and you just hang on there.
All right, now, you know, because my setup is totally generic. And if you don't have the gear to set it up with, man, you must have an old radio or something. I know you've got a new radio, so get that compressor on at a 3.
Oh, Jimmy. I wish I had a foot pedal, but I think I gave it away. I wish I had this, I wish I had that. I just don't have it. But anyway, Jimmy, let me do it this way. As far as microphone gain goes, the quality there. As far as frequency response, I'm on 150 to 3,000 hertz. And I'm receiving at 3.3. Now, let me go to the EQ.
I'm just pointing out your dynamic range is below 3 dB dynamic range. So, you know, normally 3 dB is what we want to do there. So that involves that compressor at a 3 and your mic gain to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Well, Mr. Ferguson, I don't know if that made you happy. Is that what you're wanting, a rappy? Hello?
Looking better there. You just double check your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3.
Don't worry about the mid-scale and the 2/3. I've got all that taken care of. My power level is only set at 20 watts. Okay? I'm on a 3-band EQ right now. I can make it a 20, a 10, a 30, a 40. I can do it all right here on this SDR radio. Now, do I need to bring my mids up or down, my highs higher or lower, or my lows lower or higher?
Okay, start with your mid-scale EQ flat. Mid-scale EQ flat. Go to your top end, and what reading do you have on your top?
All right, I'm 0 mid-scale on that, and I can go 15 dB on the high, and it looks like I'm about 7.5 on the high, and it looks like I'm about probably 8 or 9 on the low, up to 15. So there you are, 0, positive 0 flat on the mid, and the high is about an 8, and the low is about a 9 or close to a 10.
All right, go ahead, take that top end and take it on up there all the way, and let me hear you all the way.
I don't want to be a tiger. There you go. That's all the way up, 15 dB.
All right, sounds better. You were kind of not have that nice little top end, but now it's there now, Roger.
Roger, would you like me to bring the mids down a little bit and the lows up, or what?
No, just keep your mid-range flat, and I think we're in business here.
Okay, now on the preamp, it says a 15 dB positive negative. It's enabled, and everything is kind of like, I don't know how to say this, but I have a 15 dB negative, 15 dB positive, and the main preamp is at 0, but then over on each one, I've got it looks like I'm about a 9 dB positive on lows, the mids is flat, and the 15 dB is at, and I apologize, I've got some cord connections loose here. I ordered one of those things, again, proprietary stuff that you know who makes, and I had to order the whole damn thing so it'll key the amp and the radio and all that stuff all at one time. I should have built it myself, but I'm tired.
Roger, just out of curiosity, give me a dead key for 3. Yeah, okay. You know, that compressor does suck up after a while, so, I mean, but you'd have to pause for 2 or 3 seconds to have it, you know, expand. So, you know, normal speech, you'd never hear it working, and that's the whole idea of a 3 compression.
Yeah, I got a question for you. I'm going to do something here, and you tell me if it makes any difference or not.
All right, go.
All right, here is on 10. Here is on 10. This is 10. And here is on 0. This is 0. Was there any difference?
I don't know. I hear some kind of switching going on there. I'm not sure exactly what it is. You're automatic keying the box, right?
Yeah, I've got a finger trigger, and I'm finger triggering the microphone, and both switches are horrible.
Okay, because it sounds like something's going on there that's non-linear. I mean, it's just like a switch from time to time, Roger.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's just great China junk that's assembled here in the United States, and this man calls it all American made.
Roger. All right. Well, hey, I think we got it there, sounding a lot better, and obviously you know how to get there to review your recording and see what we've been doing, Roger.
How long have you been doing this now, Jim?
Too long, 3 years at least.
3 years. Is it time to upgrade to the next and greatest radio?
I was thinking of retiring, actually.
Oh, I was kind of thinking of that too.
I mean, I think we've done 1,450 QSO-VLOG recordings, and not sure, you know, you have a few problems here that I'm not sure that will be, you know, on the air forever, Roger.
Do you like me on the romping, stomping transmitter that I normally use?
I think it sounds, you're talking about the 7300?
Well, we've got the 7700, 7300. You set up all the audio settings yourself, so between the two, your audio settings on ICOM, it's a romping, stomping. Let me switch over to that real quick and see what your thoughts are.
Yeah, the 7300 is by far and away the best transmitted audio processing that I have found. It's simplicity in setup and just outstanding in performance. That's my Omer there, N9GTO. He's switching from that whatever radio he was on to the 7300, I hope. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net, and N9GTO is working on switching radios, and we'll see how that 7300 is operating today. Man's got a lot of controls to manipulate there as he switches radios. This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. Come on, Elmer, let's go. He may have blown himself up. He has done that before.
Oh my.
The anticipation is
killing me.
Who is that out there?
Whiskey for Norway, America. Good evening.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. It's KC9VKV. I'm hanging out for my Elmer N9 GTO as he switches to a 7300. Now, I did hear some Donald Duck, so he may be on the wrong frequency.
Well, I don't have a... Yeah, I do. I can do that right now. I know how to do that. Just stand by there, Elmer.
Well, yeah, you're the Elmer. All right, but you are on the right frequency now, so that's encouraging. But, gosh, we do need to move it along a little bit. Let me check out a couple of things while I'm waiting for him. This is KC9VKV checking out my SDRs. This is a Rochester SDR.
SDRs. This is the Rochester SDR. This is Rochester SDR.
This is a Milford SDR.
This is a Milford SDR.
This is the Georgia SDR.
Tiger Arlington up. Georgia SDR.
This is the Arlington SDR.
The Arlington.
And GTO.
Go ahead there, GTO.
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
All right, give me 10 on your antenna. 10 seconds. Give me 10 seconds on your antenna system.
Ten seconds is 10 seconds. And N9 GTO back on the 7700 icon.
I thought you went to the 73.
No, the 73 is at the farm. The other one's at Lori's office.
Well, that one sounded pretty good.
Well, this is a 7700. You want me to bring the 7300 home, huh?
Well, that one sounds good enough. I would run it like that. You got your sock on that, Mike?
Yes, sir. Do.
All right. You're ready for Freddie.
So you actually like it better than the other one?
Yes, sir. Nice audio, 3 dB, a nice crisp EQ, and your audio does not sound like it's getting transiently switching.
Well, it's because everything's all hooked up for everything to key everything up now. All I do is key up the microphone and rock and roll and all that other good stuff. So I'm ready for Freddie. And, man, I can even do this right here. I can say, hey, I don't want to be a tiger because a tiger ain't enough to love enough. Thank God for my, I need to back that down a little bit. That's probably too much drive. There we go. It's probably better there. I don't want to have any second or third harmonics. But, yeah, I put a ugly choke in line with the 40-meter antenna, and I stopped taking out my 72-inch LCD LED TV for the Flex radio. So I was running that on the wall so I could lay back in the bed and with the right glasses on, I could see it like I was looking at it with a computer. So I found the right ones for being in bed 6 feet away and being able to be on the computer and play around. And, man, it's amazing what you could do with the right glasses.
Roger. All right, sir. You got it going on there, buddy. I mean, that's the best you've sounded today, anyway.
All right. All 273s to you. Thank you again for allowing me to come into your home and everybody else's while I'm listening a lot. Hear too much of that in there. 73s, Jim. It's been a pleasure, sir, talking to you. And, again, tell Teresa, Louis said hello. N9 GTO's got to go. 73, look forward to doing the AB comparisons from the 6400M to the 7700 ICOM. N9 GTO signing off. And what time are you shutting this tape deck off?
5 o'clock.
Which is 1 minute from now, right?
Nope. It's 10 minutes.
Oh, so it's only 4:50 right now?
You got it.
All right. Well, I'll say 73s and God bless. I'll be listening out. Go on, anybody else pick up Mr. VKV for the vlog. And 9GTO is taking up more of his time. My time is up, and thank you for yours, sir. Look forward to the audio clip, and I'll be getting with you next week so we can convert them files. And 9GTO clear.
Roger, Roger, Elmer. 73 that way, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And we'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Check out, give me a shout.
Victor Echo 3, Papa, Charlie, Papa.
Papa, Charlie, Papa, KC9VKV, go.
Tango is Papa, Charlie, Papa, KC9VKV, go.
Yeah, very good afternoon, Jim. The KC9VKV, the 3PCP. Just popping in quickly to say good afternoon to you on what is a beautiful sunny afternoon here in Ontario, about -4 Celsius and sunshine. So, nice day for this time of year, the 3PCP.
Roger, Roger. Now, what mic are you running today?
Roger, Roger. Now, what mic are you running today?
I'm running the Kenwood MC80 desk mic and to my Kenwood TS850S QSL.
Roger. It sounds a little distorted. I'm not sure exactly why. Check your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3. Might be hot there, Roger.
For mid-scale to 2/3. Might be hot there, Roger.
Yeah, it could be. I'm running a linear amplifier and running the rig at half power, and I find the mic came down a little bit there, and just getting a bit of a reading on ALC now with the compressor on QSO.
Yeah, Roger. I just went to my local antenna, and you're sounding pretty good there. Tell me 10 seconds about the best thing you like about your radio.
Well, it belonged to my father, who was a silent key. He was Victor Echo 3 Charlie Romeo Whiskey. Died in 2008, and it's for its time. Died in 2008, and it's still a good performer today. The 3PCP.
Roger, still a little distortion. I'm not sure exactly why. You might be. How hard are you pushing? I'd say, well, just dump your amp and let me hear you direct.
Yeah, okay, very good. Here's direct without the amp. I'm only running a 50 watts output without the amp system.
Roger, yeah, I got to come back with your amp on. It wasn't that. It might be pretty hard hitting mid-range EQ. That's the only thing I can think of that would do it, or RF in your AF.
Yeah, okay, very good. Well, I backed the mic gain down a little bit more. Is that any better? B3PCP.
Check your EQ. You sound really hot in the mid-range, really hot in the mids, Roger.
Yeah, there is no EQ on this rig. Just mic gain and compressor.
I got you. Okay, well, gosh, then maybe still hot on the ALC. I'm not real sure, but it did sound just a tad distorted, Roger.
Yeah, okay, very good. Well, I backed down the compressor a little bit, and it's down to about 2.5 now, I think. So anyway, not too sure what other. Not too sure what other adjustments I can do here, Jim. B3PCP.
Roger. Microphone just sounds really mid-rangey, and I'm not sure why. Does it have a low-pass roll-off switch on it?
Have a low-pass roll-off switch on it?
No, it doesn't. It's a pretty straightforward desk mic. Same one I've been running most times when I've checked in with you recently, so not sure what's different today, but anyway, maybe just the way the conditions are, who knows.
Roger, no, it's definitely audio, and it sounds like it's like maybe 10 dB hot in the mid-range, above flat. 10 dB notch boost right there around 1 KC. But, check out the audio recording. You'll be able to hear it there. Go to YouTube, do a call out a search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 1/8/20. That'll take you right to this recording, Roger.
Followed by today's date, 1/8/20. I'll take you right to this recording, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. I backed down my the output on the rig a little bit. Not driving the amp quite so hard, so I don't know if that made a difference or not. And you might want to check your date there. I think it'd be 1/8/21, would it not?
I'm sorry, you are correct. I am a creature of habit. Oh, forgive me. My board's saying 20. Jeez.
That's okay. It's understandable. It's it's a new year, so it's kind of the first week back after the New Year's Eve, right?
Yes, sir. Well, whatever there. But anyway, you'll go to YouTube there. Call it a search KC9VKV, the date 1/8/21, and it'll take you right to this recording, and you'll be able to hear that radio, and it'll probably show up pretty well on the spectrum analyzer also, Roger.
The spectrum analyzer also, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Very good. Well, thanks very much, Jim. 7-3, have a good afternoon, and we'll catch up with you again. KC9VKV, V3PCP.
Roger. 73 up that way, sir. Have a great afternoon. Beautiful weekend. And this is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon, QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. Right there, around 1K audio recording it. You'll be able to hear it there. YouTube, they'll call it. I'll take you.
Yeah, Roger.
Man, I've got an Arlington, Virginia SDR that is, it must be a 15-second latency. It's unbelievable. I was halfway into my conversation, my QSO, just before this. I don't know. Sometimes these SDRs are really strange. This is KC9VKV, Friday afternoon, QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo 6 Alpha Bravo Tango.
Alpha Bravo Tango, come back slowly, phonetically, with your call sign, please.
Phonetically, with your call sign, please.
Yes, sir. You got Gus here, Golf Uniform Sierra, Kilo 6 Alpha Bravo Tango, K6 ABT.
Roger, and the name was Gus, is that a Roger?
Roger, and the name was Gus, is that a Roger?
Roger.
And Gus, whereabouts are you located, sir?
Yeah, we're down here next door to Augusta, Georgia.
All right, and what radio are you running, Gus?
Yeah, we're running a 7300 here. I got it pretty much set up just like you're saying there, three on the compression. Modulation.
Roger, Gus, and I'm trying to fight my SDRs here today. Some days they just do beautifully, and then some days they are a real pain in the whatever, and today is one of those days that it just won't let me be. It keeps hassling me, and I have to divert time and effort to keeping it coming on. So anyway, why don't you give me about 10 seconds on your antenna system, Gus?
About 10 seconds on your antenna system, Gus.
Yes, sir. My antenna has a long wire on it. Goes up about 70 feet, and then that breath trail off to the above the trees there.
Roger, Gus. Well, gosh, I think you've got your settings just about right there. They sound just perfect. Your 3 dB dynamic range, which is exactly where you should be there, with your compressor on a 3 and your mic gain adjusted to drive your ALC mid-scales to 2/3. All that sounds just perfect, and your EQ is very articulated, Roger.
Yes, sir. Okay, I definitely appreciate this. I wasn't sure about 14 there, and it seems to do real good right here.
Yes, sir. That 7300 is the radio of the century. You have the right radio, sir. And so I want to just check one more time your ALC mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain control. Just verify that real quick.
Yes, sir. Set on compression, set on 3, and the mic gain is on 14 there, about 2/3 there.
Right, but we're looking for the mid-scale to 2/3 on the ALC meter itself. The actual volume setting doesn't matter. It's the volume setting, how it affects the ALC. So we're looking for a mid-scale to 2/3 reading on the ALC, regardless of where the mic gain is set specifically.
Okay, we're backing it down here a little bit. And right now we're about 2/3 there.
Okay, well, let's see, Gus. Let me say, sometimes we play a game, and I don't know if you've heard me play this game before, but it has to do with your output meter, power output meter, and looking at it as you speak. And the idea is to keep your output meter in the sweet spot as you speak, and you can do that by raising your tempo just a tad, but also trying to get that meter to read, in the sweet spot of the power output meter. And what you do is you develop a relationship between where the meter is and your voice is, and you learn to concentrate your mic technique to where you keep your audio up, and the way you do that is by looking at that meter as you speak. And the more you look at that meter as you speak, the more you understand how that meter is going to react to your voice, and you try to, like I say, keep that meter in the sweet spot by manipulating your voice. Roger?
Yeah, okay, that's a technique there I hadn't figured out there.
Yes, sir. So the more you look at the meter as you speak, you'll develop that relationship in your head, and you'll be able to keep that mic level up pretty much in the sweet spot almost continuously. Probably works better if you have a switch on your power output meter called RMS versus PEP. If you put it on PMP, it tends to move very quickly, and if you put it on RMS, it doesn't tend to move quite as quickly. So, but PMP would be the more accurate way to measure your sideband transmissions. Roger.
Roger. Okay. Yeah, I was definitely looking at it here now, and can tell the difference there.
Yes, sir. So what it does, it draws your attention to when you pull off mic. You might be off mic a little bit. You see that meter drop down, and you understand the relationship of the proximity of your voice to your microphone, and so you don't. I think it increases your ability to work the microphone properly because you're seeing the results of your toils. Roger?
Roger.
And I think that's about going to wrap it up for us, Gus. Appreciate your dropping by, Roger.
Yes, sir, Jim. I definitely appreciate the help here and everything you're doing out there. And we'll say 70 there. And we'll say 73s, and we'll be out here listening. K6 ABC. Yes, sir.
Roger, Gus. 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And with that, it will wrap up our QSO-VLOG network for this Friday afternoon. We've enjoyed it. Sorry we missed last Friday, but we were detained medically for a couple of days, and we're on the mend, and we'll be hopefully back on the air next Friday. For those that participated this afternoon, if you would like to hear your radio in action, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG net, but also put the date 1/8/21 1/8/21, and sorry for our board, we do have the wrong date on that, unfortunately. But anyway, so let me jump out of here. We'll say 73 to all, and have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And this is KC9VKV returning this frequency to normal amateur radio use. KC9VKV clear.
KV clear. KC9VKV KA8TWO.
TWO, go.
TWO, go. Yeah, I just want to know if I would set a frequency there on you because you didn't seem to hear me. I've been calling you for about 10 minutes there. K8TWO.
Yes, sir. What's the name there?
Sir, what's the name there? Name is Henry, and that call is the Tango Whiskey Oscar, the number 2.
It's KA2TWO, is that a Roger?
2TWO, is that a Roger? KA8 Tango Whiskey Oscar.
KA8 Tango Whiskey Oscar, Roger.
KA8 Tango Whiskey Oscar, Roger. 100%. You hit me 10 over the line there. Really good signal. But your audio is a little bassy on my audio meter there.
Repeat that last. I just meant to my Milford SDR. Repeat your last transmission.
Milford SDR. Repeat your last transmission. I say you're 10 over 9. You're really doing a good job there, but you got a little bit more bass than anything on the audio meter.
Roger. Well, gosh. Some days are like that, sir. What radio are you running?
Like that, sir. What radio are you running? 7300 and an Amtron 811.
Roger. And tell me this. Are you running in the filter 1 position on your receiver?
Filter 1 position on your receiver? Negative. I'm in filter 2.
Roger. Filter 1 is a lot truer. Filter 1 gives you a lot truer audio response on your receiver, Roger.
Response on your receiver, Roger. Yeah, it looks a little more flat across the spectrum that way. I didn't realize I had up on 2 until you asked.
Yes, sir. That radio is just a beautiful radio, and if it on the receive side, if it receives 100 cycles in the transmit portion it's receiving, it will reproduce that. It is just a beautiful radio. If you're running in the 100 to 2900 bandpass, which is what I suggest.
100 bandpass, which is what I suggest. I appreciate that. I was just wanting to know because I had a report that my radio was off frequency by 20 kilohertz, so wanted to check with you and see where I was.
Yes, sir. You're dead on, absolutely dead on frequency, Roger.
Absolutely dead on frequency, Roger. Yeah, that's what WWD told me too, but you never know when you get one of those reports if it's my radio or his. Anyway, you have a great day. Lord willing, we'll catch you again. KTWO, Jim.
Yes, sir. That's a Henry, Roger?
Yes, sir. That's a Henry, Roger? That's a Henry, no Roger. Roger's my cousin.
Yeah, Roger. And what's your location, Henry?
What's your location, Henry? Oh, I'm sitting up here smack center of Michigan, but all the way to the east edge there next to the Huron River.
Roger, Henry, and if you want to hear your radio in action, we have been recording since 3:30, and if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search, KC9VKV followed by today's date 1/8/21, that will take you directly to this recording, and you could speed read right to the end. But you might find it more interesting to check it on out from the beginning. A lot of folks' radios there, and we are always interested in hearing other people's transmissions and their EQ settings and all that stuff. Roger?
Their EQ settings and all that stuff, Roger. Hey, Roger that. Well, I didn't catch what you said. Where is that on the internet?
Okay, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by today's date 1/8/21, that will take you to this recording directly. Roger?
This recording directly, Roger. Yeah, I got that 100%. Appreciate that. A little bit of somebody throwing a tone in there with you, but you came right through it like a chisel. Anyway, have a great day. Thanks for the contact. Lord willing, we'll catch you again. KTWO.
Roger, Henry, 73 that way, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Thanks for dropping by. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. So with that, again, this is KC9VKV, returning the frequency to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV Clear.